the unnecessary delay obviously had to be blamed on the chairman. And they were right, they raised it on the floor. The Speaker, when the bail was referred to him, it's unfortunate they have to divulge this private conversation we had. The Speaker, one of the largest bail we had in this house was either the Public Health Bill or the Companies Amendment Act. They were very large. And I showed him, in managing bills that are very controversial, what you do is that you hire a big hall, call all those who have brought the memoranda. You are talking about 178. If you had a hall that could seat 300 people like the DF Anna Hall, clause 1, all those who have the amendment, raise your concerns. They raise it. By the time you get to the last clause, you'll be done. But you opted to use a vehicle that gave people unfettered time. Meanwhile, you know of the constitutional provision. And I will refer you to Article 1064. Mr. Speaker, and with your permission, I read, a bill introduced in Parliament by or on behalf of the President shall not be delayed for more than 3 months in any committee of the Parliament. In inference, remember, we could not introduce a bill in this house until Professor Akwe, with his magnanimity, went out to enable members to be able to introduce a bill. So in this sense, it's referring to bill. And for more than 3 months, if you realize that there was going to be delay, the only fair thing that you do as a chair is to come back to this house to tell the house that because of reason 1, 2, 3, we have to have a delay, and the members will then be able to contribute to even your way your procedures, the proceedings are going.
Leader, let get the intervention.
Mr. Speaker, to fortify his submission was very misleading, and I don't want the records of this house to hold that to be true and factual. The bill in question is a private member's bill. He's quoting a provision in the Constitution that has to do with a bill introduced by the executive. And we cannot sit here and assume that such a submission is correct within the context of a constitutional provision. For the other submissions, at the appropriate time, since this is a house of debate, we'll have the opportunity to express our own views. But for now, I would plead with my most respected colleague to withdraw that constitutional provision he quoted, unless he want to create an impression that he's relying on its mutatis mutandis, which in its case cannot even be so. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. He should point it. But so far as this constitution is concerned, when you introduce a bill to this house and it's referred to a committee, that committee must not spend more than 3 months without coming back to this house to tell us reason why it has to go beyond the 3 months. Mr. Speaker, I want to refer him to Standing Order 136, which is just a verbatim
Time limit.
What do you call it? Lift of the Constitution. And the side note, Mr. Speaker, this is what the side note is. And that is what guides. He is a lawyer. He should even know better than I. He's supposed to know better than I do. This is the side note. What the side note is? Time limit for delay of bills in committee, constitutional provision, Article 106(14) of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, that's what the side note is. It's about delay in committee. So, Mr. Speaker, if the chair have decided to adopt a method that gives him room to be able to leave the committee work and travel for 1 week, 2 weeks, and come back, and they cannot continue a very tortoise method of dealing with the bill at the committee, well, then maybe we have to serve notice to our colleagues. Since this is the method that the chair of the Constitution and Legal wants to use to delay that bill was in this house before so many other bills. I can assure you that any other bill you introduce in this house, we shall resist it. Even if it is to provide water in Aswasi, we will resist it. We will make sure that that bill, as long as it stays there, no any other bill passes through this house. If you try to do that, we shall oppose it, because we see that it's deliberate. You are deliberately delaying the bill. So don't make excuses. Because if you wanted it to be fast track, you know what to do. If the government wanted to get that bill done, they know what to do. And what you are doing at that committee, Mr. Speaker, I'm repeating it to the chairman on his face. You are deliberately wasting time on the bill. You don't want the bill to come to this house. If you say what I'm saying is a lie, work hard in a week, you'll be able to bring the report. But you are deliberately wasting time because you don't want the bill. And that is a fact, Mr. Speaker. Because if you look at the method that he's using, this is not the first time a bill has been referred to him in his committee. And we know how you work. When you want to expedite it, we know how you do it. So this one, you are deliberately wasting the bill at your committee. And the truth was told you yesterday, and I'm repeating it to you, that you are deliberately wasting time at the committee with the bill. And I can assure you, and I assure the front bench, with what he has done, and trying to justify it, no bill will pass through this house without our resistance, even if it is going to provide water in Aswasi. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I direct that leadership will meet the committee.
Yes.
And see to their challenges and we will address them. I wish that by the end of next week, leadership should meet the committee and see to their difficulties and address them. Please.